Well, this month, many countries around the world marked Safer Internet Day, and internet safety, of course, is certainly top priority for many around the world, particularly many parents. The industry and even some governments, though, are finally starting to listen to parents' concerns, for example, when it comes to smartphones. France, for instance, has moved to ban the use of smartphones in its primary and middle schools. But technology is still getting into the hands of younger and younger users, and studies are already showing the negative effects of smartphones and social media on children's mental and physical health. Well, help is on the way today on France 24 to give us a few tips on just how parents can help their teens or their tweens with their smartphone use. I'm joined on the set by lawyer, mom, and e-safety expert, Elizabeth Milovidov. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello.
Always great to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure.
I guess the biggest question for most parents, I know that this is a question I've asked myself, is exactly when is the right time to give a kid a smartphone, and what should you take into consideration when you're about to make that decision?
Right. I think we all have to deal with that question for my own children too. And I think it's really simple. We can look at some of the advice that Common Sense Media has given us, which is looking to see how responsible is your child? How mature are they? Are they able to lose different items? Will they lose the phone? How do they act with their own devices? Do you think they might start texting or embarrassing other people? So it's really just knowing your child to figure out when is the best time.
Tell me about this wait till 8th grade pledge. What's that?
Well, it started in the United States last year, and it's really fantastic. It's a movement by a group of parents who are empowering themselves and the community to basically just say no to smartphones. Now, they're not saying no to all phones. They're just saying that their children don't need smartphones until the 8th grade, when in the United States, children are around 13 or 14.
Which is interesting, because here in France, it seems like the common age is what we call sixième, or 6th grade, when kids are a little bit younger, about 11 or 12.
Yes, and it's interesting because just last week I was in my son's class, and he's in CM2, so 10, 11-year-olds, and out of 18 of them, 14 had smartphones. And not only did they have smartphones, but they had Instagram accounts, Facebook. This is really a different issue.
Because it does seem incredibly early. I guess another question is so many parents feel the pressure from their own kids. The kids come home from school, they say, Mommy, everyone else has one, I want one. What can parents do to counter that?
Yeah, no, I think that parents just have to stick together. They have to speak as a community, as a group. They have to discuss what is right for their own children. You can do that in the different Facebook groups and associations. You can even join the Wait for the 8th pledge. I started to do something with Wait for Collège because I think it's a good idea. And again, we're not saying no phones. We're just saying hold off on the smartphones. The kids don't need that much interconnectivity so quickly.
Another argument for many parents is my kid needs that phone so I can find him or her. So if I have to do the commute and pick them up, I can know how to get them. What would you say to them?
Sure, but why not just have a regular cell phone for texting and for messaging? I mean, I understand that it's for security purposes, and I think that's a great idea. And I also think that parents have to get involved, not just hand over the telephone, but lay out their own rules. And if they have any doubt, they can just look for the safety centers, for the phone, for the ISP. Really, industry is doing a better job at letting parents know how to keep their kids safe.
You're talking about industry, and before I was mentioning some of these studies that have been done already. Just remind us, what are some of the dangers that have already been clearly established when it comes to the overuse of a smartphone, for example?
Right. Well, actually, I won't say specifically for the smartphone, but for most of the devices, we've seen that with overuse, we've seen problematic use where the kids are just getting sucked in. And of course, the games are designed this way, the devices with the different colors, the different apps, to really hook you in, to want the likes, to want to comment. So physically, we see things with headaches and backaches. Even we have something called tech neck, where children are on their devices too much. We know that smartphones are not the greatest next to your bed for sleeping at night. So really, we have to just use more common sense when we hand over these devices.
Elizabeth, you're a mother yourself. What's the one thing you would say to your kid if the kid says, Mommy, I really want this smartphone, and you're not ready to give it to him or her yet? What's the one argument not to do so?
Well, quite frankly, for me, it's easy because it's the law. The law meaning, why does he need it? Especially because he wants things with social media, and that's 13 and up. So I can always use that. If he needs a phone, and sometimes we do let him have one, to go to speak with the nanny to let us know. But otherwise, he can wait. It's okay. It really is okay.
It's okay to wait. That's a good word. Thank you for that. Elizabeth Milovidov, a digital safety expert here on France 24. Thanks so much for coming in to see us.